we want to introduce them into scheduling their appointment, right? They filled out the form, they came into here. Typically what we have happen is we would wait a couple minutes. We wouldn't want to send off like an immediate thank you email because we would want to make it look like a human reviewed it, right? So we would wait a couple minutes and then we would send out a thank you email. Thank you for filling out the form. Here's the link to schedule, right? That should be no matter what lead magnet they fill out a form, you should do that. Delay timer, then hit them up with the email. After this one, this is where it gets froggy, right? Now, reporting, analytics, the industries, they're saying that it typically takes anywhere from 8 to 10 touch points with leads in order to get them to make a decision to take a next step, right? So what that's saying is that somehow through a combination of email, text message, and manual outreach, it could take potentially 8 to 10 of those here in order to get them to take that next step, which is scheduling that discovery call. But just because that's reporting doesn't mean we have to do 8, right? So you would build this up however long you want it, right? Let's just say we're doing 3 strikes, you're out here, kind of like the old-timey baseball one, right? We'd have our thank you email, first reminder, and final reminder. So the contact fills out the form, they enter into the automation, they get into our timer, they wait a couple minutes, so that way it's like, oh, a human got it. Then we have an automated thank you email that gets sent out that says, hey, yo, we checked out your stuff. It's awesome. We're so excited, right? And then give them the link in that one. Now, they book off that email, they're gone. They don't get anything else because that little white flag we just talked about and the appointment's goal, right? But if they don't do nothing off this first email, then the system's going to say, hey, all right, we're going to wait a couple of days. Now, here's their first reminder. Same rules apply. They book, they're out. But if they don't book, same rules, right? They're continuing on. Now, when you're doing reminders or call to action based emails, always end your logic lines here with a timer at the very end. Okay. The timer at the very end keeps the contact alive, tracking all of the all the previous links that have been sent out. If you don't put a timer here at the very end, what happens is the system says, okay, we sent them off that last email, and they drop out. They dropped out of active view into a view called queued, and that messes up your analytics, your reporting. We're working really hard for good reporting, so put that timer at the end and save yourself some tears, okay? Any question on this simple follow-up process here? Do you want to add any complexity to it? Does anybody have any questions or visions on this one?
Could you explain just one more time why you want to end it with a timer? Just I missed that part.
Sure. So let me take it one step back here, right? So when we get into that reporting view up top here, when we go to look at the numbers, it's going to display 2 numbers. One number is going to be in blue. Okay, that's our active folks. That blue color lets you know, hey, actively, I've had 5 people fill this out. 3 people are going through the sequence and 2 people filled out the form, filled out the goal, right? There's also going to be orange. And this orange status is to let you know, hey, we got people that filled out the form and, Frank did nothing, right? Then, or Lisa didn't book, right? Those orange people would stop here in this sequence and they would be looked at as queued. What Keap's vision here is they wanted to let you see who's the people who are actively going through things and engaging and being good leads for you to follow up with them directly, but also provide you the clarity with who are these queued people who didn't engage, right?